Hey guys, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. Before we get into this video, I'm going to talk about the kerfuffle that's going on, the discussion, the debate about crowdfunded comics versus buying comics, because I think it's an important discussion to have. We're going to get into that. Before I do, though, please check out the Alterna Comics campaign right now on Indiegogo. It's the spring pre-order campaign, and support Alterna Comics because they're fantastic. All right, so into the video. I'm really, for me, this is not personal, and I don't. This is gonna sound weird, but I don't have a dog in the fight. It looks like I do because I'm crowdfunding comics and I'm also paying money and taking great risk to produce comics ahead of time. I'm doing both of these things, but for me, I really am genuinely not sure what the best route to go is, and so that's why I'm hedging my bets and I'm trying a little bit of everything. Uh, so so there we go. So let's get into the video. I'm not going to be uh, riding a fence here, and I actually don't think that I don't think it should be like personal at all. So I'm going to go ahead and say the names. So on one hand, you have both hands. Okay, you have two creators that I like and respect as creators, and they are representing two sides, two arguments to a single issue. Um, I'm not going to pick the middle ground here. I'm actually picking the ground that I think is the truth. Uh, so 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 on one hand, you have your boy Zach, who is saying that crowdfunding is its own thing. It's not shopping. It is crowdfunding. It's us making a book together. Okay. And then on the other hand, you have Doug Ernst saying making books ahead of time and getting them out in a timely manner on schedule is important and is the way of the future. Okay, so these are two things that I personally don't think are mutually exclusive. What the reason why I think that there is so much discussion around this, and again, it's not just these two creators. I've seen it on Twitter. There's this discussion is happening, and I think it's important. It's an important one to have, and it was inevitable. Um, the the important thing is what is your goal? This is what it all boils down to. It's no secret that your boy Zach has said on a number of occasions that he wants to try and emulate the Brian Pulido model of crowdfunding comics, getting comics out to backers. It's the whole experience of crowdfunding, and then you move on to the next book. You have whatever your release schedule is, you get it out, but crowdfunding is very much the end goal. Like there's nothing else that you're leading toward. It's having the optimal crowdfunding experience, and like that is the goal. So why on earth would someone like your boy Zach start making comics another way when that's not his goal, right? So on the other hand, you have Doug Ernst, who, by the way, is, from my understanding, not crowdfunding comics at all. At this point, he has crowdfunded, but he is actually genuinely a store on in every sense of the word. I know his last book never hit a crowdfunding site. It was produced ahead of time. It was released on Iconic Comics website, and it was shipped promptly. I know, I bought it. I often will say I backed it. It's a book I backed, crowdfunded book, but it's not actually a crowdfunded book at all. So first off, you could say, well, which model is superior? And I think there's no way of knowing. I mean, these are just different ways of making comic books, and so I think it depends. From my own personal experience, which I think I've got considerable personal experience in this. I know what it's like having an extremely late book, presiding over and being the project manager of a very late book. I understand that, man, when you're in art production, when you're producing something, especially at that high caliber level, as Fatal, my late book, there are things that can go very, very wrong. Now, luckily, nothing has gone so wrong that it's going to be a fatal flaw, no pun intended, uh, for that book. Like, the book is coming out. Um, Charlie is making progress on the artwork. It has just taken a lot longer than we anticipated because there were outside factors that were not foreseen, not within our control. And that is super unfortunate, and it is extremely stressful. I will tell you that. I have spent sleepless nights, many sleepless nights, worrying about it. I've spent many hours talking to customers in emails, uh, over live streams, over, you know, phone calls in some cases, who were upset about the book being late. And that is stressful. That is not something I want to ever experience again. Um, let alone the financial risks that come at having a book that is that late. It sucks. Um, but at the same time, if I had taken my own personal money, if I had invested money or taken a loan out to make that book, it would have been probably a bigger disaster for me. Uh, Potentially, it could have been very bad. Um, and so with us together shouldering the risk of making that book, we still get to make the book. Yes, it's late, but we still get to make the book, and I don't have to lose my home over it. If you think about $100,000, for me, that's a lot of money. Um, I don't have to lose my home over it. Everything's okay because we have shouldered the risk together, and the book is still coming out. And that is a cool thing that crowdfunding enabled us to do together. So I appreciate that, and I'm going to continue to use crowdfunding for my personal model. At the same time, knowing what I know now about making comic books and minimizing risk, I have taken out business loans, and I have also obtained funding that I don't have to pay back through other means, not crowdfunding. I'm not going to get into that now, but I've gotten money so that I can have cash flow and be able to keep artists working. And if you may remember a few months ago, I was lamenting about how difficult it has been because of cash flow, that crowdfunding comics, it's not ideal. Like, you still have to invest money if you expect to have a release schedule that's on time. If you expect to have any regular cadence, if you're just making a one-off book, and it takes you a year, 2 years, 3 years to make it, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. But if you're trying to build a business out of it, I don't think that crowdfunding comics is ideal in and of itself. At least not for me. I have not found a way for it to be optimal. So leaning toward this funding books ahead of time that you can minimize risk on in a number of ways, and hope you don't lose your shirt over it, but be able to invest that money, goodwill, to get the book done ahead of time and throw it up on a website and start selling that book and start shipping that book. I think that is a pretty attractive model to go for. Now, then why crowdfund, or why would you still crowdfund if you funded everything ahead of time? Well, I think honestly it just comes down to social proof. It comes down to people seeing those numbers be put up. It comes down to the public spectacle, the event. There's still the funds. You can still do some stretch goals. They're not necessarily in the book, but you can make extras and things depending on your time frame. You could still do sort of a hybrid model, which I am moving into a bit here. But if your goal is to make a different kind of comic book company, if you don't want to make the Brian Pulido model, then you're going to surely get away from that and make something else. And I think that's good and that's okay. The problem comes if you are a backer and you're backing a book and you're hoping and wishing for the Brian Pulido model, and what you're getting is, I don't know what you'd call it, but the store model, the Amazon model. And if that disappoints you, I don't know what to tell you. Like, your goals are not 100% aligned with the company, the creator that's making those books. If you are expecting a store model and you want to be able to back a book and get the book, and what you're getting is a cottage industry model, you know, we're taking a long time to make books model and ship it out to you, the pure crowdfunded model with all of the mistakes and, everything like that comes with it, you're going to be disappointed. Um, so, can you unite the best of these, best of both worlds? I think you absolutely can. Like, these things are not mutually exclusive. You don't have to make comics just one way, but you can absolutely. Um, so I don't think this is a subject that's going to go away. I think the discussion is going to continue, and I don't think this is a discussion that should be personal in any way. Like it's I don't know. I think it's an important discussion that should be have had, and time will tell. The market will tell. We'll decide what model is the best, which one is superior, or if the hybrid way of doing things is the best way. We will see. It'll be interesting to know. Anyway, I want to know your comments because this is a very relevant topic. Let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. I've got more comics coming, guys. Good stuff. Bye.